or Western apps are not accessible. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching and staying tuned. I hope you have been enjoying the videos so far, giving you background to a lot of China experience, and I hope that this helps you in understanding a bit more and aid you in making an informed decision. Thank you for staying tuned. So in today's video, we will be talking about few things you need to know if you're considering to work here in China. So you need to know these so you can prepare for them and you're not surprised or shocked. So first and foremost, importantly, is that our Western apps are not accessible. And therefore you need an app or an application that gives you access to these apps whilst working here in China, right? So that is one thing to note. Also, seeing as there is a language barrier, you can definitely download at least two translators that you can go ahead and use. I'll show you the ones that I currently use, so you'll see them on the screen. You can download them as well, and there are others that you can go ahead and research and download, right? If you have an unlocked phone, that is perfectly good for you, and you want a high-tech phone, a smartphone, because that will be able to be used easily. I remember when I came to China, I came with an LG phone. It was a smartphone, however, I think it could not manage the reception of the Chinese. I don't know if it's the 5G or the 4G or whatever it was, but it couldn't work with the Chinese SIM, right? So you want to ensure that you have an unlocked phone that possibly you can use here as well. All right, so thing to note as if your school should be giving you apartment allowance or providing you with accommodation. Now you want to know that I don't think I am not aware of a general that employers are able to provide, but what I want to say to you is you want to find out how your space will be. I remember when I first came to China, I was in that small apartment because my school was just being cheap. So if your employer, you can engage with your employer or your recruiter and get pictures of that apartment and see if it suits your liking. That would be good as well. So usually they put you up in they are supposed to put you up in a hotel until accommodation is decided on, but you want to ensure that wherever you'll be living after that hotel experience, you will be having adequate room and just comfortable enough. Because in my first apartment, I didn't have a kitchen inside my apartment, and that was that was a turn off. It was one kitchen on the floor which had about 8 rooms. So, and that wasn't just foreigners living there, it was more like a almost like a college type of thing, but you had adults living there though, and Chinese, so we would share that same kitchen space. I never fancied that, I never liked it at all, but that employer was pretty cheap. So you do have those employers that are cheap. So what you want to do, as I mentioned, get pictures and videos of the apartment accommodation so you can see if it's to your liking, right? All right, so also depending on when you're coming here, whether it's gonna be October, November, December, which is around very cold when the time gets, and depending on where you're gonna settle in China, you want to ensure you have clothing to fit that weather condition, right? You want to ensure that you have clothes for that weather, especially when you will be arriving, because you don't want a case where you bring summer clothes and when you arrive it's winter and you have to bomb rush get winter stuff, because within the season that is currently going on, it's gonna be more expensive to get those season clothing, which we will generally know for persons who would shop in US or anything like that or wherever. Also, you want to ensure that you bring cash, and you, I guess at the airport would be a very good place to go ahead and have your cash converted to the local currency, because you want to ensure that you have a bit of a money to spend until you actually get your salary. For me, that's another story time. I didn't come here with much money. I came here with God though, and the little that I had, you know, finished, and God sent people to help and stuff of that sort. But in a general sense, you want to ensure you come with a little money, especially so you can start off by buying your bedding stuff, because if it's a winter period you come here, you'd need to buy your winter blankets and stuff. If it's summer period, I mean, you can carry your sheets because they can be used on the bed, and you wouldn't have to buy anything additional, probably just a pillow or so forth. But you want to ensure you have cash for any little thing. All right, so what you can find is that a lot of apartments don't always come with comfortable beddings, and so you would have to buy, I pause because I'm trying to find the name for it, but I call it the cushion thing for the beds. But it's like, yeah, basically the cushion thing. So basically it's a very soft layer that you'll put on top of the bed that helps it to feel a lot more softer and more comfortable. So a lot of the beds are not as comfortable, so you want to ensure that you get these soft, comfortable layers so you can put on top of the bed and you feel a little bit more comfortable. Also, you may want to get kitchen stuff like probably pots. So if your apartment comes with built-in apartment stove, that's good for you. You want to ensure that you get pots to actually use on that, and utensils and food items. So these are some things you just want to start out with, which is why cash, you need to have a little cash on you, or as much cash as you want. Ensure you have a document folder, right? So your documents are properly kept from any weather condition, because you don't want to leave Jamaica or wherever you are with your documents and then boom, rainfall, it wet up and you lose your documents. You don't want your documents to be defaced at all. So ensure you have a secure folder or a container in which you keep your documents safely. All right. Learn about the culture as much as you can through persons who may have been here or are here, are still in China, and you know, you just want to learn as much about the culture, so when you come, it's not a culture shock for you. You know, you're just probably just experiencing and putting in perspective what you would have heard already. All right, if you establish friends with persons already, that would be good, because it means you have friends and, you know, persons within the same time zone that you can communicate and keep company with. All right, ensure that you travel with your credit card or your debit card. You can do this. It's quite helpful for you as well. You know, you may have transactions that you'd have to use these means, so that's something to consider. All right, but you want to notify your bank of your travel arrangements. So if in the event a transaction, they see a transaction for Shanghai and they're like, but you're in Jamaica, why Shanghai? You know, that type of a thing, that they are aware. All right, try to have your cash, oh, I did mention this already, have your cash in the currency, the local currency. Now, since the food here is blonde, and I mean, they have similar season, but probably not our spot. Some of ours, you want to take your powder season. So, ooh, a Maggie baby, carry a Maggie season. Now, you do have Jamaicans here who actually have these type of front business where they provide these, so you can benefit from that. But if you know you come in, you just take your Lasco. Me love Lasco. Me like no other milk, but me love Lasco. So if you're someone like me, you can do that. Take whatever you're able to. Now be careful and mindful that certain things cannot come. So liquid stuff, you want to be mindful of that. You can read upon what is allowed in China online in terms of when you're coming for your information, so you can be guided. All right. And of course, don't expect Chinese food to taste like Chinese food that you buy in Sakura, Aligani, or one of those places. It will be a little bit different, or should I say a lot different. Now, these are a few things you want to consider when you're coming to China. You know, the culture is different, so bear that in mind in learning about it. Now, I hope sharing these will aid you in making an informed decision for yourself and your future. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.